Toni Morrison didn't pull any punches in life, and she's not pulling any in the afterlife. What follows is a thoughtful, frank discussion, sure to delight her fans, of which I'm one. It was important to her to affirm that she's still keeping tabs on those she cares about and whispering inspired thoughts to those she's still mentoring. Yeah, she said that. Her legacy continues to shine brightly, and in this conversation, I hope that you will feel her energy and her intention for you. Hi, I'm Deborah Lupien, voice of the Akashic Records. In honor of Black History Month, I'm thrilled to present to you an afterlife conversation with the one and only beloved Toni Morrison. The floor is yours, Miss Morrison. What would you like to say? I'd like those who loved and respected me to know that I have no regrets. I lived life on my terms, my values, aspirations, and goals. I'm proud of what I accomplished, the body of work that I left behind, the students that I inspired. One cannot measure that in any significant way. It just is what it is. The ripples continuing forward, affecting those who are open to receiving, and by extension, the ripples they create are part of an ancestral line connecting to me. That brings me deep satisfaction. Anytime one can complete a life circuit without regret and the satisfaction of a life well lived, that's an accomplishment. And I have to say, I'm not at all sorry that I exited before this latest turmoil, trials, and tribulations. No, thank you. I'm happy not to be a part of that firsthand, although I'm also happy to be supportive from this side of the veil. If you need my help, I am available. I've learned a few things along the way, and I'm happy to share them. I've done a great deal of reading on this side. It's a luxury to have the time to read whatever interests me, satisfy my curiosity, and to inspire me for what I might do in future incarnations. Although that is decades away. By the time I make a return trip, all of this sturm and drag should be a distant memory. Peace will rule the land. Besides reading, how do you spend your time over there? Oh, it's pretty unremarkable. Visiting, catching up with those I knew and loved, friends, family, colleagues, meeting new friends, friends of friends, expanding my circle. Sometimes I get lost for days sitting in nature, listening to the birds or the grass growing. Did you know you could hear grass growing when you focus? I did not. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Listening to the whispering of the trees. Sometimes when I'm feeling nostalgic, I come back down there and walk through some of my old haunts, reliving the memories, savoring the best of them. Check in on my loved ones. Although I can see them from the other side, it's nice to be up close and personal once in a while. I walk a lot. Walking helps me tap into higher levels of understanding, giving me a glimpse into higher dimensions that I aspire to reach one day. But there's no hurry. I have eternity. I do find it satisfying to watch the careers of my mentees, to see how they've used what I taught them to improve their own lives, to inform and inspire others. And sometimes I whisper a little inspired idea in their ear, and that way I'm still mentoring them. Can't teach this old dog new tricks. Mentoring is in my bones, in my soul, you might say. It's part of who I am. After a lifetime of connecting the dots and gathering up ancient wisdom, I have a lot to share, and it feels good to share. I ran out of time before I could share all of my discoveries. And those books that I birthed, They took time, slow and steady. Like a turtle, I crafted my books, word by word, constructing the architecture, the framework, knitting the pieces together in perfect alignment to cause little shock waves of awakening in my readers. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention my readers, to whom I am eternally grateful. For what is a writer without readers to absorb and appreciate their work? I did feel appreciated. Do you think that in your next incarnation, you'll still be a writer? It's too soon to say, I would think. Somewhat depends upon when I choose to come back, what's happening in the world, and how I feel I might best fit in and contribute. Another factor is what I'm motivated to do with that time, based upon the expansion I've done here, combining Toni consciousness into the complete consciousness of my soul, adding on to it my studies from this time here in Soul School. So you see, there are many factors at play, none of which would allow me to make such a consequential decision rashly. I'll bide my time until it feels right. Then we can talk about a return engagement and what I might do. But I expect by that time you might be on the other side with me, having your own renaissance of the soul, reconnecting with the fullness of who you are, as opposed to the splinter of your present consciousness. Are you able to tell us anything about what we might expect for the future of Earth and the United States? Can you give us a clue about that? No, that is not my business. I do not want to interfere with your soul journey by planting seeds that do not belong on your path. Be content to live in the now. Know that you have the power to create miracles every day. And do you know what happens when you add up a lot of miracles? Okay, what? You might just set off a big bang that would put the original one to shame. This massive change sweeps across the planet amidst the exit of a multitude of souls. And yes, that is going to happen on some level, regardless. But your intervening, inserting yourself where you don't belong, can change the trajectory, and often not in the way you would desire. I encourage you, mind your business and focus on your present, doing what you can in the moment to make a difference. It will be felt. It already has. But there is more work to be done. Keep your eyes on the prize and soldier on. It is God's work you are doing. All of the light workers are most pleasing to Creator and to all of the souls who will ultimately benefit from your diligence and hard work. We honor your willingness to step up and do the work. The world would look very different had you decided to sit on your hands and not participate. Never underestimate your contribution towards facilitating Earthtopia. When you get there, I'll be waiting to celebrate with you. Anything you'd like to say to your loved ones or your fans? Do you have a special message for them that would reassure and strengthen the connection that you have with them? I know they would appreciate it. I would like them all to know that the best way they can honor me is to keep living their own purposeful, creative journeys. And yes, please share my work to keep it alive, to keep me alive. I deeply appreciate that. But the most important thing is your own soul mission. If you don't make it a priority, no one else will. Don't let anything get in the way of that mission. That is your most important focus. Neither worry about others' journey. That is their responsibility. Despite what Neil Diamond said in his song, your brother or your sister is too heavy to carry, because that would divert you from your sacred mission. Help them in some other way. Always put your mission first, head of the line, top of your priority list, and be diligent about it. That is the way to make the greatest impact during your lifespan, however long that will be, and no one knows. So it would be wise to get about that sooner, lest you run out of time. That happens to many souls, leading to their regret on the other side. You would serve yourself well if you took care of things now. Don't put them off. Move yourself to the top of the priority list. And that way, when you reach your end of days, you can heave a sigh and be very pleased with what you've accomplished and the legacy you leave behind. What more could anyone ask? Thank you. Is there anything else that you'd like to say, closing remarks, or maybe little gems, nuggets you want to drop on us? It has been my great pleasure. Come again. We will talk more. For now, this conversation feels complete. What an honor spending time with Toni Morrison. I hope her message resonates deeply, inspiring you to reach for the stars as you leave your own indelible mark on the world. And thank you for honoring Black History Month with me. We must never forget the profound contributions of Black America. And you'll find more inspiring conversations here. This is Deborah Lupien, voice of the Akashic Records. Love and blessings to you today and every day. Until next time.